What is up guys, I hope you're well, and today we are trying a bit of I Don't Work Here Lady. If you are new here, please consider hitting that like, that subscribe button and clicking that notification bell. Now let's get straight into it. A few years ago, I worked at a cafe called the Honey Baked Ham. I went grocery shopping after my shift one day during the holiday season, and while I normally took my name tag and everything off before running errands, I was particularly exhausted on this day and couldn't be bothered. I just wanted to power through and get home. So I'm in Walmart, roughly halfway through my shopping, contemplating whether or not I can afford laundry detergent that I liked instead of the cheap one I was buying at the time. I have a half full cart of groceries, eggs, bread, hamburger helper, etc. with my purse in the kids' seat, and I'm fully decked out in my uniform, which consists of khaki pants, a black polo, a maroon apron and a visor, and a name tag. Everything except my pants is loudly embroidered with the words, "The Honey Baked Ham." Despite the fact that I'm wearing a uniform, anyone who's been to Walmart would know that I don't work there. Enter confused lady. "Excuse me, miss." I assume I'm in the way and move over. In a fog and half asleep, she taps my shoulder. "Excuse me, ma'am, where can I find the fabric dye?" I finally register that she's talking to me and say I'm sorry, I don't actually work here. She says oh, and walks a few paces away. I smile at a habit and turn back to my shopping, then do a sort of double take at my apron and then around me because I think I've gone crazy. I brush it off and start to move down the aisle. Hello, which of these toilet papers is cheapest?" Confused lady clearly thinks I still work here for some reason. "Mum, I don't know. I really don't work here." "Oh, are you sure?" At this point I'm trying not to burst into hysterical exhausted laughter, because not only am I not wearing anything resembling the Walmart uniform, my clothes have a different company logo emblazoned onto them in no less than 4 different places. So I grab the top edge of my apron and pull it away from my chest a bit, and basically point to the words at her and say, "No mum, I work at Honey Baked Ham." "Oh, sorry." The way she trails off sounds like she's asking for further explanation, but I just turn away and walk away quickly. For the entire rest of my visit she followed me around about 15 feet away, curiously looking in my direction as I finished my shopping. She also tried to ask me to help her at least 2 more times, but luckily I was far enough away both times that I could pretend not to hear and around the corner. I finally managed to escape her at checkout when she presumably realised that she still had things that she had missed while following me around. She never got angry or insistent, though it would have made it much more sense to me if she had. At least entitled bitch is a personality I understand. This woman just couldn't comprehend the fact that I didn't work there. I had no idea why she singled me out and followed me around the store so passively, almost like a lost puppy. But this happened about 3 years ago. I think about it at least once a week. It was just so strange. It does sound a bit strange, someone stalking you throughout a store. Old lady tries to assault me in Walmart and ends up paying for it. Backstory, I'm new to Reddit and this is my very first post. And I have multiple stories about these things. I'm posting this after a very recent encounter at Walmart a few days ago. So a few days ago I went to Walmart with my mum to get a birthday card for my aunt. While my mum was looking for a card, I was walking around the store just looking at all the different aisles, and I came across the gaming section. I'm a pretty tall kid for my age, and often portrayed as older than I actually am. I was looking for a game for my PlayStation while listening to my music with my headphones in, when suddenly I feel something on my shoulder. I brush it off as a wind, because that usually happens a lot, but then I felt it harder, and I turn around to be surprised by an old lady with an angry look on her face. I ask her, "What happened?" To which she replied, "You guys have very bad customer service." At this point I was very confused because a random old lady was talking to me, and in a very rude tone. I tell her, "What do you mean?" And she turns bright red. Then all of a sudden she screams, "When I'm talking to you, you listen to me." I immediately get quiet and try to hear her out. She starts going on about how workers like me are always slacking and she'll get fired immediately, and I confusedly told her, "I don't work here." At this point she'd already gotten very mad at me, and all of a sudden starts dragging me by the ear to the front desk. As I tried to get away from her, a worker approached her and asked her why she was grabbing me by the ear, and she replied, "Here's my grandson and tried to steal games." I turned to the worker and told her a part of my story, and after checking CCTV footage, they found out the old lady was assaulting me after I ignored her when she was trying to find a video game. She was later fined and had charges pressed against her, and I will definitely not forget that experience at Walmart. Sorry for any errors, wrote it on my phone, had to get this out in public. Just imagine some really tall guy being dragged around Walmart by his ear. I can't just work off the clock, lady. I normally post on Tumblr, but I figured I'd try here since you all have juicy stories. In advance, I'm sorry for the formatting and typos. I'm on mobile. Brief setup, I work at a large American superstore in the crafts and sewing department, and my boyfriend works in electronics. At that time in our employment, our managers gave us semi-matching schedules since it was near a 45-minute drive for us to get to work. This resulted in nights where I'd be off work at maybe 8 PM, but I had to wait for my boyfriend who got off at 10 PM. Also, because I'd been off at 8 PM, that meant no one was left in my department for the night. Sometimes if a customer needs something and my boyfriend or co-worker wasn't there in that second, I'd say, "Hey, I work here, but I'm off the clock for tonight. I can still try and help by answering your questions if you'd like." Most people were very polite. Most. RL, rude lady. BF, my boyfriend. AM, assistant manager. SM, support manager. Me, I sure hope you know that one. This specific night I got off work at 8 PM and sat by the electronics main counter with my coat and purse on the desk. I had my sketchbook and planned to just draw until my boyfriend got off work at 10 PM. Some people would come up to the desk while my boyfriend was helping other people, and I'd offer to answer their random questions like, "Where are the bed sheets?" or "Where are the headphones?" For some reason, that night was packed. My boyfriend's co-worker needed his last break, and it left my boyfriend alone. Thankfully, an SM saw him and began helping at the register. Maybe 5 minutes later, a lady comes up with her daughters and says she needs help in crafts. The SM asked if I was already clocked out, and I told him I was, and had been for nearly an hour at that point. He told her that the only associate they had that night left at 8 PM, but if she waited, he could help in a couple of minutes. Me being nice, I told the SM, "Hey, if you just let me take my boyfriend over there, I can give him a baby crash course at cutting fabric that the customer needed." The SM gave my boyfriend a pass to go, and I walked with them to help out the lady out. While walking over, the lady starts sounding exasperated and angry that they didn't have someone here all night. Like, "Okay RL, it's me. I'm that person." Anyway, we get to the table, my boyfriend has no idea what to do. I start telling him exactly how to measure fabric, from what point, where to cut from, which scissors to use, and RL starts getting pissed. RL to me, "So do you work here?" "Yeah, I've been off the clock since 8. I'd do this if I could, but I can't actually do the work off company time. So you'd rather just waste my time instead?" Me getting a tad nervous. "No, I can't do this off the clock. Someone working has to." At this point she stopped talking and just began mouthing garbage to her kids, but I didn't really care. My boyfriend finishes the label a second time because he messed up the first time and they leave. Boyfriend and I kind of just agree she seems shitty, but oh well. The oh well came the next morning. Assistant manager to me, "Hey, can I talk to you about last night?" "Oh, yeah, why?" "Well, we got a customer complaint that you refused to service on the clock. Do you remember that? She said you were just sitting in electronics drawing." Me, kind of confused. "I mean, I was over there last night, but I wasn't on the clock. Do you have any proof? They insisted you could have just helped." "You could ask support manager. I asked him if I could help through your boyfriend, even though I was off the clock. No one else knew how and was working." "Okay, I'll check with him and get back to you." Later, because it's a busy store. Assistant manager again to me, "Hey, I checked with support manager and you're right. It didn't really seem in character for you not to help since I've seen you off the clock helping in electronics. Just make sure you don't have your vest on and tell people you're off the clock." To be fair, I totally did tell them, and I didn't even have my vest with me. "Then you're free to go. Sorry, people are lousy." In hindsight, I could have just let RL sit there with no help all night, but no, I just had to feel generous. I'm sorry we have labour laws now. I don't have to help you when I'm off the clock. The fact I did was just me being nice. There's always going to be customers where even though you try helping them out, it's never enough for them. I don't work here, and I'm not the manager. This happened to me a long time ago. I was at a busy jewellery store browsing for some holiday gifts. The store was packed. There was even a line to go inside. I was being helped by this great lady, let's call her GL, who made the perfect suggestions and helped me a lot. But when we were calculating the discounts, she had a little trouble with the percentages. Her calculator had run out of battery, and she didn't know how to calculate 30, 40 or 50% of the original price. This is no problem. I started to do the math quickly, and saw her looking at me with curiosity. GL explained she didn't know how to do math. She never learned. GL has been very helpful, and I wasn't in a hurry, so I quickly tried to explain to her how percentages work, and how to multiply to get the results. We practiced with some prices from the merchandise I was going to purchase, and she got it in one. It made me really happy to have taught her this, and she was grateful. This was when Karen appeared. I felt someone tap me on the shoulder. I turned around and saw the woman with an angry expression on her face. "I won't wait in line. You need to help me now." I was very confused, and so was GL. "I know this line is long, but it goes quickly." I was ready to turn around, but the lady grabbed me by my arm. "No, you need to help me now, or tell someone to help me. I am a customer who has purchased many things here. I'm sorry, ma'am, but you need to make the line. I'm sure one of my co-workers will help you." I could tell Karen wasn't happy with the answer. Her face got red and she screamed at GL, "I won't make the stupid line. I'm a preferred customer. I always buy here." And she turned around and started screaming at me. "You need to fire her right now." I explained I didn't work here, and GL confirmed this, but I guess some people don't listen. "You're the manager. I saw you teaching her about prices." "Yes, I was helping her, but I don't work here. I'm not the manager, and I think the line is getting bigger." Thankfully, the real manager showed up and took Karen outside. I did not pay any more attention until I exited the store and saw Karen at the end of the line, fuming. I guess I can understand how she believed I worked there, but this is no excuse for her yelling or grabbing me without consent. Oh my god. I find it kind of strange that you're actually teaching like a store worker the percentages though. I'd be really concerned about that person who's been serving for God knows how long not knowing percentages. You know, surely got to know basic maths while being in retail. Anyway guys, thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed today. If you did, please consider hitting that like, that subscribe button, and maybe even that notification bell. Thank you.